Welcome to Cycle Your Heart Out, a podcast to help you ride home to your true self. I'm Sarah and I'm so glad you're here with me. Bienvenido, mi oficina. Welcome to my office. I'm in a beautiful woods at the moment with Maya. Maya, say hi. There's a beautiful quote that I heard once by bicycle designer and author Grant Petersen that says, think of bicycles as rideable art that can just about save the world. I first heard it in Brazil, in Rio, when I was creating my 27th heart route back in 2017. And I now actually have a pretty crazy story for you about how that quote actually does come true. Heart route number 50 is rather different from my other heart routes because the idea for it actually came from my future 100-year-old self. Apparently, I ended up in the 23rd century and appeared on a podcast called Tests from the Future. Simon and Dirk started their unique show when they realized they were able to actually send episodes back in time. It was incredible to hear that the Cycle Your Heart Out movement still exists in the year 2223. An annual event called the World Heart Relay ended up creating millions of heartful cyclists over the centuries and ended up leading to a more peaceful, loving world. So you're probably thinking, what exactly is a heartful cyclist? Being a heartful cyclist is about feeling empowered to cycle a heart route and ride home to your true self. It's about listening to your heart with deep compassion and allowing your love from within to spin out from under you onto all of those around you, enabling you to create a more peaceful, loving world. According to my future self in the episode, every 2nd of July, people create a heart-shaped bicycle route and then they cycle and tag the next country physically if they can to inspire them to cycle a heart route too. The idea behind this was to help the ripple effect to organically spread as much loving energy around the world as possible. I actually got goosebumps listening because it gave me so much hope for the future. I'd actually always dreamed of starting the World Heart Relay ever since I created Cycle Your Heart Out back in 2011, but logistics used to always stop me for some reason. Thankfully, after 12 years, I realized I'm not necessarily meant to be a leader. I'm more of an innovator. My role is to continue to plant the idea, the heart roots in the world and allow it to flourish and spread naturally. In the episode, they also talk about hover bikes, 3D heart routes, skydiving through portals, and that frozen rumor that involved a romantic mystery person. To help prepare for the World Heart Relay in 2024, my future self told me to create a route in a city very close to my heart. I'm now going to share Heart Route 50 with you and all of the beautiful highlights along the way. Ready, Maya? Whenever I create my heart route, I always like to do my inner ride meditation first so I can connect to my intuition, my heart, and enable me to basically write down an intention for the route. For this route, I simply wrote cycle your heart out for the future because the whole purpose of the heart relay is to create a more peaceful, loving world for our future. I chose to create the route in a city called Milton, Keynes, as it's where I grew up. And it's also the location where I first launched Cycle Your Heart Out back on July 2nd, 2011. Milton Keynes is about an hour north driving of London. It's loaded with over like 270 kilometers of bicycle paths separated from the main road And yeah, it's pretty much a true cycling paradise. If you're ever in Milton Keynes or if you live in Milton Keynes, make sure you check out my blog, Heart Route 50, for some really useful, great cycling links. To make the heart route, I actually altered my 2012 Christmas route to make it a bit more, I wanted to make it a bit more heart shaped. It's currently one of my favorite routes in Milton Keynes because it goes past so many of my favorite places. It's just under also 6 kilometers. Is relatively flat, so it's suitable also for most people to ride. I'm really happy to be finally sharing this route with you. Since I created it, I've so far enjoyed riding it with good friends from Cape Town, Milton Keynes, and Barcelona. Just before I actually ride, I like to read out my heart route intention to basically release its loving energy along the route with me. And then to make sure I capture, I like to use a combination of Komoot, Strava, and Relive app. So yeah, to make sure I capture the GPS heart art. So I wanted to share with you now some of the highlights. I think I really loved celebrating basically the start of the ride with some silent disco dancing, some headphones, me and my friend, at the Campbell Park Hill right next to the Light Pyramid. I used to actually roll down this hill as a child, so I've got, yeah, lots of fond memories up here. I also love the Willen Lake Peace Pagoda. That's probably, yeah, one of my favorite places along the route, and it's also a stunning spot to watch the sunrise. It's also surrounded by about 1,000 cedar and cherry trees, and you'll find that you have the One World tree here where people like to leave prayers and messages of hope for loved ones that they've lost. You've also got the Japanese gardens. It's such a peaceful spot just to relax. I love to journal by the pond there. You've also got Willen Hospice. My great grand passed away here, so I actually really love sitting on the park bench, as I always feel like she's sitting here with me. If you're feeling peckish or thirsty or you need a warm drink, you have yes, my Alexa there, the Canal Street Cafe in Campbell Wharf, the new Campbell Wharf. It's a lovely neighborhood cafe, and it's also dog friendly, which is a plus. Me and Maya love coming here, and especially when the sun is out, because you can have outdoor seating and yeah, gorgeous views of the canal. Right next door also you've got Trek bicycles, so if you need any, I don't know, pumping up your tires or anything else, you can always pop next door. I wanted to share a poem with you that I wrote on my 42nd heart route in Barcelona at a time when I felt lonely, disconnected, and isolated from the world. It's called The Heartful World. Longing for connection with like-minded souls, a shared ride of compassion, creativity, and love. I surrendered, closed my eyes, and rode inwards, re-emerging in clarity. To those who hear these words, welcome, my soul family. You are not alone. We ride through life together. Today's inner ride question is, if you could meet your future self, what advice do you think they would give you? If you could meet your future self, what advice do you think they would give you? Feel free to pause me if you need more time. And lastly, what tiny step can you take towards that today? What tiny step can you take towards that today? I just want to say thank you. I'm so grateful for you being here and yeah, listening to Heart Route 50. If it's inspired you to become a heartful cyclist too, you can visit me at cycleyourheartout.com to find out more. And yeah, make sure you put July 2nd, 2024 in your calendar to find out more about the World Heart Relay. On my website, you'll also be able to do my Heartful Garden meditation, which is based on the loving kindness meditation, and it's all about creating more peace, joy, and compassion for yourself, others, and the world. I've actually always loved the idea that, time travel could be possible. And in fact, I love anything to do with space and time. Two of my favorite movies are Back to the Future 2 and Interstellar. Feel free to share your favorite kind of space or time movie with me in the comments. And if you'd like to listen to episode 130 from Tests from the Future and hear what my Future 100 self has to say, and Dirk and Simon, then you can check that out at testfromthefuture.com. If you know anybody else in your community that may enjoy hearing this, please feel free to share it with them. And you can also subscribe to my podcast, Cycle Your Heart Out, to continue riding home to your true self. To end, I'd love to invite you to take 3 heartful deep breaths with me. Just placing your hand on your heart. And if you want to keep a soft gaze in front of you, or if you prefer to close your eyes, just whatever feels best for you in this moment. Maybe noticing your heartbeat. And then just taking one deep breath, just noticing your stomach rising on the inhale and falling on the exhale. A bit like the ocean waves. Rising on the inhale, and your stomach falling on the exhale. Another one. You can continue breathing like this for as long as you want. My wish for you is love. So much love that it spins out from under you onto all of those around you, because your wheels are your paint and the world is your canvas.